apprehended a dangerous experiment. Where is he?
He escaped.
He's trying to find the police cruisers.
You two were phenomenal. I could not imagine a better Lilo and Nani.
Thank
Truly.
you.
Thank you.
So take me back to the moment when you guys first got the call that you were going to be playing Lilo and Nani. What was the moment like? How did you hear the news?
Go for it, girl.
Okay, what was the moment like? I was crying. I was crying in happy tears. I was so happy for myself. And how did it happen? So let's start from the beginning. I'm going to do a short story. Okay. I did a little thing called Mini Miss Corner Coffee. I won. I said I wanted to be a star. Something showed up on the news, and it was the scripts for Lilo and Stitch. And then when I signed up, I did several rounds of auditions, and then I went to Disneyland because it's a Disney show.
Yeah,
why not?
Disneyland.
And it was my first time to Disneyland.
Oh, wow.
And on the same day, it snowed.
Oh,
First
my
time
goodness.
snowing.
Magical.
And
That's
I caught
amazing.
some in my tongue.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a beautiful story.
You manifested.
Yes, definitely. And you know, I'm a pageant girl too.
Oh, me too.
Really?
Yeah.
Pageant girls,
I know.
what's up?
Yeah, sports during the day, pageant tonight. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, how about your moment when you got the call?
Oh, it was freaking surreal. I would think I'm still thanking everybody and everything
Yeah.
to this day. I found out when I was in New York and I was visiting my sister when she was going to NYU, and it was down to my sister and I
Oh, wow.
for Nani, yeah. And so we were kind of just like leaving it up to, you know, whoever, whatever the powers that be. And we both were just stoked for each other no matter what was going to happen. And we were enjoying the time. And then they told me I had a Zoom call and I thought it was another audition. And I was like, what did I not do? What am I doing wrong? And then I hopped on and they were like, yeah, there's one side of Nani you didn't get to see, or we didn't get to see. And it was her in excitement. And I'm going, what part of Nani in this movie is she actually not in a state of stress?
Yeah.
And they're going, yeah, we just wanted to see what your reaction would be like when we told you that you got the role. And I was like,
oh my goodness.
And I was crying and screaming, and I totally screamed for my sister, and we had this huge, huge moment crying together, and just like we shared it together. And I think that was the best way that I could have got the news.
Oh my gosh. And I did not know that you auditioned with your sister.
Yeah.
I feel like that adds
She met.
another element of Ohana
Totally.
and you guys playing sisters. So now you guys both playing sisters. What does Ohana mean to you now?
Everything.
It means everything.
Yeah.
And even when you grow up in Hawaii, it's a really big thing that you would care about and that you would do anything for your Ohana.
Absolutely. It makes you hold everybody closer too.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you guys were incredible, but I have to talk about the iconic Hawaiian roller coaster scene, because when I think of Lilo and Stitch, that scene is just in my brain.
Totally.
So what was your favorite part about shooting that scene together?
That's her focus look.
I like it. That takes some eye
There's
strength
a
right there.
slight twitch.
You guys like it?
Yeah, it's great. I think that's like a hidden talent of yours. Add it to
Hidden
the
talent.
resume.
I think we were super stoked that we got to do like a lot of water training at the beginning to
Yeah.
kind of like, one, they were like, can you actually swim? Can you actually surf? Do all that stuff. And we worked with some of the best watermen and big wave surfers in the world. And they were
Amazing.
Yeah, they
Wow.
were incredible, very supportive. And they made us feel really safe doing most of all of the stunts that, you know, you see on screen, and the ones that we were not able to do as far as like whether or not it's technicality or safety or whatever. We had some pretty incredible stunt people that
wow.
were making that moment beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hope my next version of the Hawaiian roller coaster ride is that all of us in the movie and all of the team, Dean, my director, and that I get to see them all again.
Oh, yes.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow!
Yeah, you guys have a big premiere coming up. But, you know, speaking of shooting things again, there's actually a lot of sequels in the Lilo and Stitch universe.
There is.
How would you guys feel if there was a sequel? What would your expectations be for a sequel?
Ooh, expectation.
It would probably be, we would go all over the place with the little
Portagon?
Portagon. And we would like go secretly everywhere and like have some ice
Wreaking
cream
havoc.
from Japan, and Nani's
gosh,
over there doing her
I think
bills.
Nani would have an absolute
Everyone like doing
panic
all that
attack.
stuff. Me and Stitch are doing all that stuff where Nani's like doing her bills, stuff like that.
She's like, I got exams while you guys are visiting Tokyo. What the heck?
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, now for both of you, what did it mean for you to shoot a movie set in Hawaii?
Oh my gosh, it was a dream.
So amazing.
I mean, to be home and being able to do a dream job like that, you can't ask for anything more.
Yeah.
We were surrounded by our family the whole time in our community. I felt instantly safe and I felt supported. And there was so much pride involved. 20-minute plane ride home to see my family was insane.
It's a nice commute.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh my gosh. And also just to see like the majority of the cast and crew being from Hawaii was really, really cool. And it showed me just how powerful and how hard we work and how much talent Hawaii really has. So that was really sick.
What about for you, Maia? What was special to you about being in Hawaii shooting this movie?
Being shooting in Hawaii. I don't think there's any other movie that's gonna have the importance about Hawaii and Ohana.
Totally.
This is gonna be like the most biggest film hit, and also other movies too. But I feel like everyone's gonna love it, and I'm so happy that I got to film in a movie with my culture and getting to meet everyone again and bumping into them.
He's so cute and fluffy.
He is your responsibility. Got it.
We promise.
Yeah.
Hi, Stitch. How are you feeling today?
Hi, Natasha.
Hi. So my first question for you is, what is your favorite Elvis song?
That great question, Natasha. Stitch love Jailhouse Rock. Da 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 da, and then guitar. Da 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 da. Yeah. Big smash hit by Elvis. Yeah.
Huge, and you dance it so well. I love it. Okay, if you were gonna have a crossover with any other Disney live-action movie, what movie would you choose? Who do you want as your live-action co-star?
Stitch and Tony Stark. Stitch be Iron Stitch. Yeah. I am Iron Stitch. Snap finger. Ah. Yeah.
That is perfect. We need to get people working on the script right now. So what's your advice for new pet owners?
Stitch think as long as people love animals and treat them kindly, because animals have feelings and you need to learn patience and understanding, and make sure they go bathroom outside. Yeah, outside. No in-house. No in-house.
No, not at all. Yes, love and potty training is all you need. I love that. Okay, Stitch, let's play a game of concession confessions. Where do you like to sit in the movie theater?
Yeah, good question. Stitch sometimes like middle, see all screen. But Stitch no mind if last person in theater have to sit up front. Ow, Stitch neck hurt. That's okay. Movie's still good anywhere you sit. Yeah,
That's true. Okay, I know you love snacks. So what is your favorite concession to get at the theater? Do you like popcorn, hot dogs, soda?
Yeah. Stitch love popcorn and candy and chocolate and hot dog, pretzel, nachos, anything, but popcorn best for Stitch.
Okay, I love it. I love that. Yeah, I love nachos and jalapenos. That's my go-to.
Spicy.
Yeah, do you like spice?
Spicy, Natasha.
That's right.
Yeah. Very big and hot and spicy. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, rate your surfing skills from 1 to 10.
That's easy. Stitch is 1,000. Surfs up. Big wave. Stitch fall. Stitch save.
I love it. Level 1,000.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, now last question. How does it feel to go from 2D to now live action? Do you feel any different?
Stitch always same. Stitch live here. Stitch with you. Stitch big global superstar. Yeah, that's how Stitch feel. Yeah, Stitch ready to take on universe.
You are well on your way. I absolutely loved the movie. Thanks for chatting with me, Stitch.
Oh, thank you, Natasha. You wonderful person. Ohana.
Ohana, thank you, Stitch.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, Natasha. Bye.
He's not a pet. He's dangerous. Dangerously cute.
Hi, Zach.
Hi,
you
Natasha.
were so hilarious
Oh,
in
thanks.
this movie.
Thanks.
But another thing I'm a fan of is Between Two Ferns.
Mhm.
The setup, we've got some ferns around us.
Mhm.
How do you think it would be to interview Stitch on Between Two Ferns? What do you think he'd be like as a guest?
Stitch is the monster one.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun, actually. You know, that would be fun. That would be a good idea. But you know what? Honestly, the actress that plays Lilo she's dynamo.
That's great. Well, speaking of co-stars, Billy Magnussen,
Mhm.
your dynamic between you two is just so funny.
Yeah.
Can you remember maybe the funniest day on set for you and if he did anything that had you cracking up?
Well, you know, this job that that I'm in, you meet someone and then you need to act like you know them right away, right? Because the characters know each other. Billy is like a legitimate actor. So when I work with legitimate actors, I'm like, one of us doesn't belong here, meaning me. But he and I were pretty serious about what we were doing. There wasn't a lot of cutting up on set. And also, you know, you do these big movies and you're kind of a small part of this giant thing. So we weren't there that long.
Mhm.
But we're pleased. I know Billy's pleased because he saw the movie because we're working together right now on something else.
Oh.
So I saw him the other day at work, and he said what I said. We both cried 3 times.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, yes, it pulls at your heartstrings.
It does.
Can you tell us what you guys are working on together? Spin-off of
it's
Pleakley and Jumbo?
No, this has nothing to do with this. It's like a comedy drama type thing about Silicon Valley.
Okay.
That's all I know.
So, of course, Jumba is one of the most beloved characters from the original Lilo and Stitch. What was exciting for you about bringing your version to life and portraying him in this new way?
God, you know, excitement sometimes is overtaken by, God, you know, this movie has a fan base that's connected to it, and that fan base can be quite opinionated, especially like a Disney fan base. It's really endearing to people, this movie. So you want to play homage to the original, but the challenge I think with this one is this is live action. Jumbo and Pleakley are brought into the human form. That's a bit of a roll of the dice. I think my take was in his human form, he's just uncomfortable trying to figure out his human form still. You know, we talked about this kind of stuff. I know Dean gave it a lot of thought. He did. He gave it a lot of thought. They asked me to be Pleakley first.
Oh, really?
And then I bet there was a note like, he's too fat.
Stop.
I mean, some Disney person. So then later they were like, will you play Jumbo? And I said, yeah, of course. So that's how that came to be. But like I said, you go into these big movies and I think a good movie, and this is a really good movie. I'm really happy with it. I think sometimes they're coincidental.
Yeah.
So many things have to go right.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have a really good director like Dean figuring this out and good producers that are figuring out with him, sometimes it can work out, especially even a remake. And I think this time they got it right.
No, wait!
You were just amazing in the film, so funny. I mean, you nearly stole the show.
Oh my
But
God,
let's
really?
Yes, you
I
were
cried
hilarious.
3 times in the movie, and one of them was from my acting. You know?
No, not at all.
Oh,
Tears
yeah.
were not shed, at least in my eyes,
Oh,
for your
gosh.
performance. But I want to talk about the original Pleakley because he is
Yeah.
so iconic. What was it about him in the original that made you interested in portraying him in live action?
You know, this is a competitive industry that we're in, which I wish it wasn't. I had the opportunity, you know, to take on this role, and I was like, oh, this character is full of life and love. He really operates from a beautiful place. He's curious about the world. He cares about the people he's around. And like walking into work every day like that is a gift. Like I want to live my life daily like that.
Yeah.
It's important. And like the real hero of this film is Maia, I think. I remember she was working more than anyone, but showing up to set every day, she would be like, Billy, Pleakley, because she was 6.
Aww.
And then she'd give me a big hug and just there for hours and just so happy still.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's how to do it.
Yes, she is like a gift. I need to see her in everything. And definitely we'll get into more of her.
Yeah.
But what were some things that you looked to for inspiration in how you portrayed your version of Pleakley? Like, how did you decide on how he moved or how he talked? How did you put your spin on it?
I don't know. Like, again, I saw the visuals of what it is. It's like, like worm kind of like alien thing, one eye. I was like, is he balanced? Is he how he moves? Like, is it quick movements and stuff? Yeah, it's just playing. I don't know what to say. It's just playing.
Yes, being playful. 100%.
Know your lines and just play. Just show up and have a good time.
Yeah, it's that simple, people.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
For sure,
you
for
know?
sure.
So.
Let's talk about you and Zach together because
Yeah.
you guys were hilarious.
Yeah.
So do you remember the funniest day on set or maybe something that
Every
he did
day.
that just kept you cracking up?
Honestly, he's just a good man. My favorite days were just sitting off to the side of the set, telling stories, cracking jokes. He's just an easy guy to get along.
Did you know that Zach was originally going to go out for Pleakley?
Yes, he just told me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wonder who they were going to go for Jumbo. I'm like, who's better Jumbo than Zach?
I know. Now, Pleakley definitely has some fits that he's sporting in the movie, which I
Yes.
love. So what was your favorite outfit that you got to wear for Pleakley in this movie?
Nothing in the bathtub where you're just like, oh, I don't have to worry.
Yeah. You're like, I'm relaxing.
I'm relaxing in a bathtub for 8 hours. It's
Oh my
fine.
gosh. How about your favorite scene from the original that you turned into live action for you to make?
When they're shooting outside the kennel, it was cool to see that come to life and being like, oh my God, I'm doing the thing that meant so much to me when I was younger. Like, it's really a wild gift. And like, I'm still not understanding it yet, I think.
We're still processing.
It's weird. It's really weird to be in that. I don't know.
Of course,
it's beautiful.
of course. So Kevin McDonald, he voiced the original Pleakley.
Yeah.
Was there anything about his vocal performance that you wanted to bring into your own performance? And have you had a chance to meet with him?
No, I haven't met him yet at all.
Okay.
I did read a lot of Stitch's lines off camera, like when Maia was working and stuff. And it was cool.
Amazing. Okay, maybe one thing that you're excited for fans of the original to see in this live action remake.
Honestly, I just want them to see. I want fans to. I don't know. I just want them to enjoy it and share it with someone special with them. That's really it.
Agent Cobra Bubbles, I need to find out what kind of threat we're dealing with.
I absolutely loved the film, and I have to say, the addition of Mrs. Kikoa, it was one of my favorites. So can you talk to me about her addition to this movie and how her dynamic, what it brought to this film that was maybe missing from the original?
Oh gosh, nothing was missing from the original. Let's not get that twisted. But this is a great addition in that, for me personally, I loved being the mentor to that young girl I used to be. You know, in real life and in the film, it was really fulfilling to me to be able to step into this different place and this different headspace of, you know, just advocating for that messy girl that, you know, we all start off as when we're younger and not knowing our own strengths. So I loved being able to impart a little bit of wisdom to the younger generation.
Absolutely. You brought the wisdom and all the heart. It was amazing. And you, Mr. Cobra Bubbles, were so much fun. Who did you look to for inspiration for your portrayal of Cobra Bubbles?
I just came in and tried to find him in the space of with all the love that was around me. I think that was the thing that people, they were so loving, eventually his strong, to get
Exterior.
to the objective I was just beaten down by all the love. So, when they asked me, we need your help, Mr. Bubbles. I said, okay. Well, how can you go wrong with a name like Cobra Bubbles?
Exactly.
It's the greatest name ever.
Honestly, it truly is.
Oh my goodness.
Now, Tia, being a part of the original cast, was there a moment during filming when you felt reassured, like, okay, the spirit of Lilo and Stitch is in good hands?
That's a good question because I was just talking about the moment when I went to set and Dean Fleischer Camp said, he was explaining to Maia and Sydney, this is the hammock scene where you guys, you're going to say goodbye and sing Aloha Oi. And I said, that was my idea. And he went, oh my gosh, that's right. Yes, I remember reading about that 20 years ago. So that was my suggestion to Dean DeBlois and Chris Sanders when they were trying to figure out how we would say it in the scene when I was going to be telling my sister that social services was going to take him away in the morning. And to see it still kept in the film, and it's such a precious moment for so many people. It just makes me so happy.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like, it's already pulling at my heartstrings now thinking about it, and they did such a great job. Do you guys have any favorite moments that both Maia and Sydney brought? Maybe a favorite moment on set with them?
Favorite moment for me was at lunchtime. It was David's birthday. The gentleman playing David. His birthday, and they had a cake for him and everything. And while they were singing happy birthday, little Maya got up, and because she's a hula dancer, and she's been dancing for about 4 or 5 years, and she did her routine for about 7-minute, 10-minute routine for us, and we were just in awe, of course. So, but her family is so loving, and the reason that she is the way she is because she's supported like that. So.
Yes, absolutely, and she's just incredible. I want to get back to Cobra Bubbles. Do you have a favorite moment of his during filming? Just a favorite moment you got to portray? I
think probably that moment when they come to the car and they ask him, "We need you to do something for us," and there was a moment he was like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to do this. This is not what I do," and that was a turning point for Cobra to actually become a part of the family, which was basically to lie to his superiors.
Yes, definitely.
And so I don't know where he is. I saw him, but he's gone now.
I love when Lilo says she's reading him like a book. It's one of the best moments. So for both of you guys, what would you say makes Lilo and Stitch so iconic even now 20 years later?
It's family. It's really about, all aspects of each of our families now. Families change, but the love is the same.
Absolutely.
And I think that it teaches us to be tolerant of someone different than us and someone that seems a little off around the edges, and we don't understand them. We don't know where they came from, but we can allow them into our hearts and love them nonetheless. I love that.
Absolutely. And now, Tia, I know that you talked to producers saying, you better find me a role in this movie when the news is announced. So how did that come to be when you finally found out, yes, you're going to be in this film?
I was over the moon. And I love that Dean Fleischer Camp, his mom is a social worker. So he was very on top of, he wanted the scene to be really, really good. And he would love to be involved in okay, what is Mrs. Keikoa wearing? Yeah, my mom would wear that sort of clothing to work. And so I love that. It's a love letter to his mom.
Stitch bad.
Sometimes family isn't perfect. That doesn't mean they aren't good. That's close.
I have a question for you, Dean, because you said that you learned how to draw by tracing Chris Sanders' original artwork. Yeah. So how did your early connection to him help you in directing this and also helped you stay true to his craft for this movie?
I mean, it's been my favorite animated Disney film since it came out in 2002. I was in high school. I also remember that I was already very into drawing and trying to figure out what's my style and all that. I also remember that I think I made friends on the school bus because I could draw Nani, and obviously all the teenage boys were can you draw me a picture of Nani? I need it. I need it right now.
No, are you serious?
But because they were just fans of Nani. Disney fans. It was a real, essential thing for me, very inspiring as a young filmmaker.
Does Tia know that? No. We'll keep that in the Disney vault. That's hilarious.
But it helped that I think everyone who worked really closely on the film were just diehard fans of the original. And so in that sense, we knew even when we were changing things or deviating from it, it was coming from a place of love and wanting to really honor that legacy and create something that could stand on its own as a live action film, but also was as special as the original.
Absolutely. Well, it definitely stands on its own. And speaking of the original, of course, Chris Sanders is back voicing Stitch as he did in the original. Yeah. So what was it like seeing him record in the booth? And when you knew you were making this live action, did you always know it needed to be Chris back as the voice of Stitch?
I think that was one of the first conversations we had was how do we get Chris Sanders back? And luckily he's the guy he is and was supportive and wanted to do the voice. And even consulted on some things. I think he was the first person I sent the like concept sketch of Stitch to. And then seeing him perform was insane. It's one of those things where like I know intellectually that Chris Sanders does the voice of Stitch, but then when you see the voice come out of his face, it is so hard to reconcile. I was like blown away.
It's not what he sounds like either.
Yeah,
so
it's not
really
a speaking
magical.
voice.
And I would say like I immediately took out my phone and then just started making a little video. Because I was like, this is such an incredible movie moment.
Yeah.
And he's so generous and has come back to do this character again and again. It's so personal for him. So for him to lend that to this film meant so much.
Totally. And for you, of course, we have the original voice of Nani and David back, Tia and Jason Scott Lee. So how was it getting them back? What was that call like?
So I had made a movie with Tia.
Okay.
And during that movie, she was like, you better find a part for me in this movie.
Or else.
And that was sort of the beginning of thinking like, well, we're probably going to have some new characters in this movie. And we sort of, crafted this character, Mrs. Kakoa, a lot of it, which was a personal thing for Dean too, whose mom is a social worker, and sort of wanting to be able to capture this and not sort of put the burden of all of that onto Cobra Bubbles, but rather have a character that could really sort of empathize with these two and sort of try to help them in this situation. So we're sort of like, what a weird but interesting thing that sort of young Nani has now grown into older Nani and can kind of talk to her younger self in a way and sort of give her this advice trying to navigate this. So then we started talking about Tia. Obviously, we had Chris back, and then we're like, who else? Who else is out there? And you just found that it actually wasn't hard to get people back because they loved this thing that they had made. There was so much pride, and they knew sort of how groundbreaking the original was. And so they were all so excited to come back, and this sort of sense of Ohana on set, and sort of this family that was both the first movie and then our movie. It really just felt like it sort of expanded in this beautiful way.
Oh, absolutely. I think their inclusion was perfect. And I love Mrs. Kikoa. She was just the heart of it all. And I really love that full circle moment. Now we have to talk about Maia because what a gem. When did you guys know that she was the perfect Lilo?
I mean, from the moment she walked in the door, basically, we were all just like, what? Question mark? She was so obviously smart and enthusiastic and such a born performer. It was very clear to me that she was, as opposed to most of the other kids we saw, dragging her parents to these auditions and not the other way around.
Oh, that's funny.
And you want a kid who really wants to be there and learn how to be an actor. It's not always as glamorous and entertaining as watching a movie. And so we knew that she was just such a born performer right away. But she also has, a lot of things that are the things that make Lilo really iconic. She's really self-possessed. She knows herself better than I do now. And she's very outgoing, and she was an incredible talented performer. And I would also say allow the wisdom in Hollywood is to cast a kid who just is a lot like the character.
Yeah.
I would like to go on record saying that she's not Lilo. She has crafted a performance through her talent and hard work that is, I think I'm really proud of, and it's just really, a lot of those scenes give me chills, and she's really a great performer.
Well, I need to see more of her on my screen. So that being said, sequels, because there are quite a few Lilo and Stitch movies and TV shows. So could we maybe see more live action Lilo and Stitch sequels from you? Maybe Angel might come into the picture.
No, I mean, at this point, we want this movie to be out in the world. We want people to love it. Of course. Sort of we'll listen to the audience if they want more. There was a little Easter egg with Angel in the movie. So we had Angel and Leroy, just a slight little Easter egg nod.
Yes.
In part because we are stepping into something that is a bigger universe. Like you said, there's the series, there's sequels, there's the original film. So we sort of feel honored to be a part of that. And, I do think there could be more stories to tell, but we'll sort of let the audience decide.
Okay, audience, do your thing. Okay, how about your favorite scene from the original that you ended up making in live action? What was your favorite for you?
I mean, I've always really loved the scene at the very beginning when Stitch escapes in the police car. The "he took the red one" moment.
Great line.
It's such a good line. I'm so glad we got to keep it.
Probably Hawaiian roller coaster for me, and that whole sequence, the notion of getting to shoot that in Hawaii with real surfing and in those waves and sort of capture the same spirit of that original. I think that was a really fun one to tackle.